Welcome to another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. I'm John Watts along with Brad Cook, and who do we have today, Brad?
Well, we have, of course, the lovely Miss Jennifer Hayes, the lead salesperson at the new O'Fallon location. And I'm going to let Beth Jacob introduce herself. And Beth Jacob.
Yep.
Who are you? Where are you from?
Well,
what do you do?
Thanks for having me. Number one, it's a little bit sunnier. I feel like it's summertime over here at the Aloha booth. I'm Beth Jacob, own Chesley Fence and Deck, and Jacob Sunrooms, Exteriors, and Baths. So we're
Nice.
a couple of home improvement local companies right here. Been around for about 50 years.
Right.
Wonderful.
Pull the mic to you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, and I'll bump it up some.
Oh, is that my hearing or is it? Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. All right.
She was a little low,
Sorry about
but I've got my audio turned up real loud.
Oh, I got you. No, when you're yelling at me, I can't like it.
Am I yelling?
You're good.
Oh,
Sounds
we're
good
good.
to me.
We're good. You can edit this or not. All right. So before you got on, I was telling you like, okay, we can do some business together
Absolutely.
here. Man alive, dude. What we do when we do above ground pools or we do semi in ground pools.
Sure.
That's a really up and coming category. Or in ground pools. Every one of them needs a fence.
Every
And
single
then
one.
The above grounds and semis need a deck.
That's right.
So tell me about what you guys do. Obviously, but
So that would be under our Chesley Fence and Deck division. And again, we've been around, Chesley's been around for like 60 years. We purchased the company about 10 years ago. And it's just a great company. We are a family company, and we specialize in just that, fences and decks.
Right.
So perfect with the Aloha pool. Lots of options and styles. You want a maintenance-free deck. You want a maintenance-free fence. We got that. You want something privacy maybe for your spa area. We have that. You name it, we'll do it. Wood, composite, vinyl, aluminum, whatever you want.
yeah, you have a really nice booth over there,
Thanks.
and a lot of different pictures, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that's all your work, and of course, I've noticed when I've been trying to get her over here for a while because people stop and they have a lot of questions, and because they've got a lot of options and choices over there to talk through, and so
Probably just like the Aloha pools, right? Lots of options. Every client's different.
yeah.
Every client wants a different size, different feel, maybe to match their existing home.
And somebody like yourself that can kind of give a quick education in the world of time impoverished people, they get to just go to a source that they can trust and learn the ins and outs of each particular. Like there's all these composite woods now, and of course there's the traditional wood, and I know there's probably several types of wood that you can get that's treated. And fences, aluminum, vinyl, and tell me.
Everything to meet their needs, right? Do you have a more of a traditional home and a homeowner, or a more modern situation? Whatever they want, we have. And I know that's kind of cliche, it's custom, but it's true. If they want something special ordered, something that blends a black and a white together, maybe, we'll have that option. There's a lot of people that want the look and the feel of that wood, because it's a little bit warmer, homey feeling, but without the maintenance. So we have vinyl options that look like wood, but without the maintenance.
Now, if I'm not a big fan of my neighbors, can I get a 15-foot with concertina wire on top?
Absolutely. If your HOA would approve that, sure.
Oh, I don't have an HOA. I live out in the country.
Then game on, we can take care
Yeah.
of that.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, so one of the things, like when I work with my clients all the time, that's always the part that we are, we know they're going to need a fence, or if they're building an above ground or a semi in ground, they know they're going to have to do a deck. So when I'm with those clients, I've built that trust with them. It's very easy for me, and I do this with every client, is that I will give you a list of my preferred vendors that I know, I've vetted, I've worked with these people for years and years.
Right.
And so when I give fence names, it is Chesley Fence.
Right.
And so I say, you want to call them. I know that they do a good job. I've used them before in previous, life, and they do a great job. They're professional and it's quality work.
Right.
And so that's really important for my clients, because they don't want to have to start at the beginning and try to find another contractor and go through 3 or 4 of them. And can you trust them? Are they good? Do I have to look at reviews?
Absolutely.
But when they're trusting someone who they're saying, okay, we're having you build our pool, I already
Right.
built that trust. Now, if you tell me that these are going to be a good contractor, that's who I'm calling.
Right.
And that's really where that works really well. And I have the same thing happens on reverse, even with another fence company, where I get those referrals where it's like, okay, people are talking about, we're going to put in a pool rated fence because someday we're going to want a pool. So then when they're putting their fence in, they're planning for it. And so it's really that forward thinking of way of making sure that they're prepared down the road and that they don't have any problems. That customer journey is extremely important for me to make sure that every customer has a smooth ride all the way from the beginning to the end.
Agreed.
Absolutely. I'm glad you talked about the pool rated fencing because clients, homeowners don't know the difference, right?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Sure.
What is a pool rated fence? I would have never
have
known.
a certain height, right? And
Okay.
you can't have an option where a kid can maybe climb over it. So some horizontal options are a no-no for a pool area.
Right.
And make sure and keep that height restriction. And then the gate swing, you want to keep an outward gate swing so that way a kid cannot bump into it and it could pop open and be a hazard. So there's definitely height restrictions there. And then we have clients too that say maybe one day we want to put in a pool. So we talk about our local pool companies like Aloha. And then sometimes they want to not post and cement those posts in the ground. So that way it's easier for the pool company to come in, without removing everything, right? Yes.
Right.
If we can talk them all into that, that'd be
We
great.
really appreciate that.
It's not that big of a deal. I think because we have machinery that we can wrap a
Sure.
chain around and kind of lift them out. But that is good thinking, and I appreciate you doing that. She said something. John kind of said in jest about the tall fence with the chain, the safety chain.
Constantina wire, yeah.
Yeah, well, but it made me just think. Okay, but do you guys do commercial fencing? And
We do.
just a little bit of
Yeah, I
everything?
have
Tell
a
us
separate
about-
commercial division, Chesley Commercial Fence and Rail.
Okay.
And we specialize in everything commercial. So your barbed wire, your maybe 10-foot vinyl, your 10-foot chain link. Electric gates, electric openings. We can take care of all those things
I
as
was
well.
thinking electrified,
You know,
like if I'm building Jurassic Park.
I will
in my
house
backyard.
your T-Rexes, yes.
I love it.
Yeah, I never knew that. I never knew that you had a commercial vision after all these years. So it's
Well-
always fun to reconnect with people that you learn something new.
Sure.
Yeah, and so we built a commercial pool, and a fence company down in Kentucky built us a more of a commercial rated
Absolutely.
fence. So can you tell us like the difference between what a let's say a 5-foot fence in a residential might be versus a 5-foot commercial fence?
So structural integrity and material differences. Obviously, commercial grade anything is meant a little more durable. You're going to get a higher wear and tear out of that, right?
Right.
Probably your commercial pool. I don't know, was that different than in a residential pool? I don't know if that was a different
Right. Well,
permits to meet and codes.
the same with commercial pools. They have to be built to a certain standard
Sure.
that you look at and think sometimes like, that's probably not all that necessary. But that in all fairness,
Absolutely.
in a world where not every state has a set of commercial guidelines, it's like, for instance, we're building a pool in the state of Missouri right now. We're just building it to commercial guidelines anyway.
Every state's different. Every county's different. You're right. Municipality wise.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if we stick to a commercial standard, if someday the state of Missouri adopts one of the commercial standards, then nobody will be able to look at that pool and think, well, it's not. And the same goes with the fence, And have you ever had anybody that wanted such a powerful, strong fence that they went with a commercial fence on a residential pool or residential setting?
It's a good question. I think I've had one that I recall off the top of my head, and they own quite a bit of property, and it was more of a security type parameter situation.
Right.
But yeah, we have those options. Affordability, obviously, everyone has a budget, right? Commercial
Yeah.
application seems to be a different
A lot more expensive.
bucket. Yep.
Yeah, you got to
Yep.
kind of do
Yeah.
that.
And I have a question too. So I have a lot of times where they'll ask when they're talking about building a deck about the differences in costs between, you've got obviously your treated lumber, then you have your cedar, and then you have your composite.
Sure.
So just like with pools where we talk about fiberglass and vinyl and you close the gaps where you're different maintenance and whatnot, what about that? It's got to be kind of the same.
You want
situation
maintenance
on
free
that.
or you want to maintain it? I mean,
Right.
that's the question. So
But the cost wise, is that it's really kind of closing between that cedar and that composite? Is that still true?
It's pretty close. So on decking, we'll do a treated lumber and we'll do a composite option.
Okay.
Those are our decking options.
Wait, so
Lots of colors.
right. Hard of hearing as I am, I wasn't sure I heard Jennifer right, but you're saying that now that cedar, because I know cedar's really high. You're saying cedar is getting closer to.
So we'll do a treated lumber deck
Right.
or a composite decking. And
Yeah.
pricing is not as drastically different as it once was.
Right. I got you.
And so you also have to take in consideration how much is it going to cost to maintain that, right? I have to stain it every so often. I have to power wash it. I have to seal it. I have to do all those things. And do I want to do that, or do I want to hire that out?
Right.
You know, throw that cost in there, and you might be better off getting a composite deck.
Right. I got you.
So, what all areas do you serve as far as like?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take Fairview Heights, if you will, Illinois, and draw a 60-mile radius around that. That's kind of our sweet spot.
So Fairview Heights, you said?
Yeah. So the entire St.
I
Louis
live in-
area market.
I was going to say, I live in Tennessee.
Oh.
So I don't know
Well,
if
we're
we
not
say
coming.
Fairview
We're not-
Heights, I have no clue what that
For the
means.
right size, we might come and visit you. Yes.
I think the people listening will.
But the St. Louis area, the St. Louis metro area.
Okay.
Yeah, both sides of the
Outstanding.
river. Yep.
And you have a place over in the St. Louis
We
area
do.
as well?
We do. We have a beautiful facility in Fenton, Missouri, right across from Wally's. Everyone in the area knows where the heck Wally's is. So it's right across from Wally's, right by Cracker Barrel. You can see it from the highway. And then we have our home base, if you will, that was, built in the 80s in Fairview Heights, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the hottest thing going right now in fences and decks and all? What's the most popular thing selling? Or is there anything new that's out this year that you're excited about?
So color. A lot of people are wanting color. Black aluminum fencing has always been hot. It always will be hot. But now people want some color. So we're dabbling in colored vinyl fencing. So there's already, like I talked about before, those wood tones. You can get a gray wood look fence. It's vinyl. You can get a cedar look fence, but it's still vinyl. And now we're blending like a clay colored top rail and white verticals. So you can blend the colors if you have like a clay sided house with maybe some white trim.
I can see that.
Yeah, when you're saying color, you don't mean like, bright
Blue.
orange
Not bright orange. No.
or yellow, pink.
Not Tennessee
green.
orange, no.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's,
I just talked to a manufacturer about 2 weeks ago, and he said their black vinyl should be out soon too. So I'm looking forward
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
To that.
And I've seen a look recently that I really liked that was had black posts and cedar horizontal.
I love that look.
Yeah, that's a good. I
Such a
like that
modern,
too.
Blend the materials.
modern way.
Sure.
Right.
Well, and it's a great way to be able to comply with a lot of HOA restrictions that like your neighborhood is only allowed to have either the aluminum or the vinyl. But it's like, okay, if you're okay, maybe you don't want white. You're tired of looking at the
Right.
white vinyl.
Right.
It's a really great thing. I've seen the first one. I was right by my house. I drove by it, and I'm like, I looked at the fence. And I'm like, I did a double take because I'm like, that's way more attractive as a vinyl fence that meets the code requirements, the HOA requirements in a cool way.
And it looks different from every
Yeah,
other neighbor.
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, and as I think about this, when I hear HOA, that we finally kind of gotten through the issues with the HOA in the semi in-ground pool because the semi in-ground pool is semi in-ground. So if there's an HOA that doesn't like an above ground pool, the semi is a perfect option. It's just they've got to kind of get adapted to that. And I just think I would love it for you to sit down and come up with a combination of a semi and a deck where it's all spelled out, and we just have kind of have a price. Because this is in this area right here, I think that would really help customers to just say, "Oh, it's this much." Okay, instead
Well,
of
customers
going.
need to see that too, right? You can talk all day. And I'm the same way. I'm a visual person. I think most women are. We're pretty visual, and we want to know, how is that exactly going to look? So if we can modify and we can maybe design a few different options, you can show your clients, we can show our clients.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think that assists them as well because no one really wants to go ahead and say, okay, let's put a contract with an unknown cost
Sure.
of what
Right.
it's going to be to finish it. No one's comfortable doing that
Right.
unless they plan on finishing it themselves. But if they know they're going to hire a contractor,
Yeah.
if they could guess. And what if it's 5,000? What if it's 10? What if it's 25,000?
Right.
That may blow their budget out completely.
Exactly.
So you kind of got to be able to give them that idea that says, hey, this part is the pool and this part is going to be your deck and your finishes.
Great.
They know how to, and we offer financing. So if your
Okay.
pool clients are like, man, I spent my budget on the pool. I know I still need the deck, or I know I still need the fence. We have lots of financing options too. So we can work with those homeowners.
The great thing about a home show, in the absence of that package that I'm talking about, you can spend one day at a home show going around and getting all your numbers
Sure.
together and to make short work of the process. But we're gonna take everything from this home show and create packages. So if you don't make it to if you're seeing this too late for the home show, then you can always just call us and we'll get everybody together and make sure you've got a complete financial outlook on what the
Perfect.
project's going to
Total
go
project
like.
cost. Yeah.
Beth. This has been great.
Thanks for having
I
me.
appreciate it. We're going to do a lot of business together.
I
hope.
look forward
and
to
really
it. I look
believe we
forward to
will.
it. I'm ready.
Yeah, and I can tell, when you sit across from someone and talk to them, you can kind of know if you can trust them or not. And I know that we can trust you, and hopefully you guys feel the same way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Thanks
And
for having me.
yes, and this is Beth from.
We're going to go Chesley Fence and Deck on this one, but we
Okay.
also own Jacob's Sunrooms, Exteriors, and Baths.
And
That'll be another segment.
Oh, okay. We'll just. Hey, welcome to another edition. We're here with Beth Jacob from
Pergolas.
Jacob.
Hey, pergolas, sunrooms, screen rooms, your backyard living, we have you covered.
And the website for Fence and Decks.
Sure.
is
Do ChesleyFence.com.
ChesleyFence.com.
That's it.
All right. Yeah.
And that's CHESLEY.
Chesley. That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Not
Okay.
Chelsea.
All right.
I get that
Well,
all the time. I'm
wonderful.
like, that's
Shout
not it.
us out, John.
And as we always say, this has been another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. Dive safely.
There you go. All right.
Love it.